Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in to Sponge's Tech Tips. I'm Sponge, working on the '08 Honda Pilot complete interior swap. Taking the nice interior out of a higher mileage '08 Honda Pilot that has a bad motor and putting it into a very low mileage Honda Pilot, 55,000 miles. But unfortunately an animal, dog or something, chewed up the inside, so we are doing a complete interior swap on this, utilizing the blown motor one as our donor. Before we move on real quick, if you're enjoying these videos, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this swap. And also, when I'm done with this, which I'm looking forward to being done, I'll be moving back on to other makes and models and more tech tips for you. So please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and feel free to leave a comment. So this next part, there's actually quite a few videos about it, and I was just going to skip doing the video on it, but I thought we might as well just do it since it's here and it's easy. But so it is the center console removal, and I have pulled this thing in and out a few different ways, and I found what I think to be the easiest removal of it. Now, unfortunately, to remove the center console, you do need to remove both the front driver's seats. I'm sorry, the front driver and passenger seats. You probably could pull it off without, but it's going to be a lot of work getting in and getting these panels popped and getting a screwdriver in there. So, tools you're going to need. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. Little longer helps, better than the stubby. Number 2 is best in this. You also need a 10mm socket and a ratchet. You don't need the extension, but a ratchet or a ratcheting 10mm box-in wrench. So the first thing you're going to do by hand, I'll imagine a couple things here. Imagine you still have your carpet in here. Also imagine that your climate control is still in. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull off these panels here, which I showed you earlier. You get them with your finger, shimmy them a little bit, and they'll pop back towards you and then up. Okay, you got to do the one on each side, shimmy it back and then up. That's going to expose this screw right here and this screw right here. So if your climate control and everything's still in there, you don't need to remove those to get at it. The next thing you're going to do, you've got a panel on each side. This side is just held in mostly by clips. It helps to grab the back part and start back here first. Just kind of pop it. You could use a plastic panel popper, but you can kind of use your hand and you just start breaking it free, and the clips will come out. Once you get up to the front, there's nothing really holding this on. I mean, it's kind of on a little peg here. That's easier to show you on the other side. But so you've just got these metal push connect clips. Looks like one fell off here. There we go. I'm gonna have to bend that a little bit and get that back on. Okay, watch for those missing clips. Set that aside. Let's go over, well, actually, let's just go ahead, since we're on this side, we'll just go ahead and get at these screws. You're going to disconnect this dark Phillips head screw here. Now, I loosened all these. If you're removing yours for the first time, for whatever reason, I don't know why you'd be removing this, but for whatever reason, you got to kind of break them free. There's one up here in the little cubby. But like I said, they were initially kind of tight. I had to pop them free. And then they easily unscrew. Then you have one here. Set that aside. Make sure to keep them together so you don't lose them. And then your last screw on the passenger side. So you can see, imagine trying to get at this with your seat in here would be very difficult. Okay, now you're going to get in, if you're obviously you would still have your carpet and your back seats in. This is the hardest part. You have to get this panel here off. And the direction of it is back and slightly up. I found it a little easy. If you open this cover, you can kind of get your fingers in there and start popping the top free. Try not to be too forceful. I wouldn't use too many tools with it. Just kind of use your hands until it pops free. And then the clips as they go along the bottom will pop back. Okay. Here's another thing. So once you get it disconnected, you do have two plugs right here, a green plug. We'll pop that free. And then you have a power outlet plug. Pop that free. Now I loosened mine, they're a little bit stiffer than that. And this is now free and disconnected. Set it aside in a safe place so none of your plastic gets damaged or the controls to the rear climate control. So oh, I forgot, you're gonna need a panel popper or something to carefully get a clip out. And this is pretty much where the trick came into. So the plugs that go to that rear climate and that rear power source have a little clip holding it here. You're gonna wanna pop that free. So by using your panel popper, you want to get behind it, just kind of shimmy it until it pops out. Unfortunately, in my case, I actually broke off one of the tabs right here. It'll still stay in good enough, but try not to break those tabs off of there. You want to disconnect that and just leave that hanging, okay? Now we're going to go over to the driver's side. Let's grab... Actually, no, before we go to the driver's side, let's do this. At the bottom back, on the passenger side, you have a single 10mm bolt. You're going to, with your socket or whatever you have, break that free. And then remove that bolt. Sorry guys, I had the camera pointed the wrong way. Sometimes I'm watching two things. I'm watching what I'm doing and the camera, and if I take my eyes off the camera, it might move a little bit. So set that with those screws. Keep that together. Let's go over to the driver's side. We're going to replicate kind of what we did on the passenger side. But in this case, there is up in the front a pretty tight fitting. I'll point to it right there, okay? So in this one, you're gonna get underneath, start popping that free. Pop, pop, pop. Pop. Okay, and then you're gonna slide it towards you. I don't know if you can see, it fell off that little white tab coming there. If you try to force the front first, you could break it. It actually slides into this right here, okay? All right, so set that aside again, out of the way so we don't damage it. If you want to tackle that 10mm bolt here, you can. I already broke it free, so let's just loosen it and remove it. And just to give you a heads up, the reason why I do it in advance is to kind of speed up the process, make sure I've got all my bases covered. Okay, now we're going to tackle the 3 Phillips head screws. Almost the same location as the other side. One. Two. And the forward one in that little cubby. 3. Okay. Now, oh, and we forgot one more. We've got to go back up to the top and do the single Phillips, the dark one, not the gold one. The single dark one right here. It kind of looks gold because it's reflecting the sunlight, but it has a dark hue to it. I don't know what they call it. I've seen it recently. It's like a blue or something, but it makes the screws dark so they won't rust. Okay, so one more thing you got to do. We can close the cover. We got to go up here back to the front. And down here, there's a single plug, okay? And if you're not paying attention, this single plug's going to kick your butt. So you got to unplug that. Pull that down, okay? So it is unplugged. And from this point, with the bolts removed, the screws removed, this clip removed, and that single plug removed, the entire thing will reverse itself, and you have just completely removed your center console in one piece. And this is exposing your AC fans, bunch of different components down here. This one's pretty clean, actually. All right, and that is it. Now your center console is out, so you can maintain whatever you need to maintain there, or you can maintain whatever you need to maintain here. All right, guys. Hopefully that one helps you out. Like I said, that one had quite a few good videos online, so it really wasn't necessary, but I figure since I was in the middle of this, I'd just do a video, and that way you guys can continue watching my videos. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them. All right, guys. I will see you on the next one.